All right, we're back again. Scam episode either 18, 17, whatever. Doesn't matter. Thank you for everybody that's been downloading, liking, sharing, subscribing to the show. Huge download weekend. Biggest we've had. Every episode, I feel like we're saying that because we just keep getting more and more downloads. Fantastic. Thank you so much for everybody that listens and watches and supports the show. If you'd like to continue to support, follow us on Instagram or Twitter at @scam_podcast. Also, I keep forgetting to mention, if you're listening to the audio only, go to youtube.com, scam space podcast, scam podcast. You'll find the show. We do a video with every episode.
You can shit on what I wear every episode.
Exactly.
As you can see, I'm wearing orange now to switch it up. Pulled something out of the back of the closet.
It's not a turtleneck, is it?
No, but I think I've decided that I'm just gonna start going with like the Dr. Dre, Steve Jobs look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. I can see you in that.
Is it because I'm a genius? Yeah, probably. But I feel like we need to establish something so I can stop getting some hate.
Yeah. I'm going to wear my Christmas sweater next episode so I don't feel left out again. But yeah, I think you look nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I look like I could direct traffic, whatever. I didn't make it. Fucking Ralph did.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure Harmony will have fun with that one. Nice bright orange shirt.
I'm waiting, Harmony. Wait for your picture. What's how you dress up.
Yeah, you got. She may follow us on Instagram or Twitter. If you don't, Harmony, please follow us so we can see what you look like, so we can make fun of you.
Yeah, and I think Greg said something too, or somebody like that.
Oh no, yeah, someone. All right, so we have a couple of things to mention right up front here. He was saying because my brother was wearing a hat on the football pics. Like, does everybody in your family only wear hats? Yes. And then I've had two fucking people call me Joss. It's Josh with an H, not Joss. It's Josh with an H. Who the fuck is named Joss?
And yes, I mostly do only have black and gray shirts. Okay, it's very slimming.
Yeah, I agree. Great look. Can't beat that. All right, let's hop right in though. But yeah, so to address a few things we had, some house cleaning here. Someone mentioned about the episodes being a little bit shorter. We'd had some technical difficulties last week. That's why that one was a little bit shorter. We're going to try to keep them right at an hour every episode. Some guy was like, if it's under an hour, I usually don't click on it. Totally understand that. We're trying to keep the weekly episodes about an hour, 2 a week.
As you click on it and watch that episode.
Yeah, exactly. And then also the football pick one is going to be shorter, about 10 minutes. And I like that where that one's at. We don't want to get too crazy with that one as well. But yeah, so again, thank you everybody who likes, shared, subscribe. If you're watching right now and haven't subscribed, subscribe right down there. The little button in the bottom. Click subscribe, stay up to date with the show. And let's jump right in it. Also, if you'd like to email us like these lovely people we're about to read did, it's podcastscam@gmail.com. We've got some real good emails here, Malcolm, this week. So I hope you're ready.
Okay.
So let's start with this one. This one's a little bit long-winded, so this will be the first one we'll read. So this one's interesting. Okay. It says, so I've been working with this girl for about 8 years now. We were in the same training class when we were hired and are now both managers, which requires a lot of time together, phone conversations, working together off the clock and away from the office to get things finished before. Yeah, exactly. And to get things finished before deadlines. About 3 months ago, we had a few drinks at a bar going over scheduling. Yeah, I can already see where this is going.
Yeah. Any work meeting that starts with having drinks, it's like, you guys are already setting the tone.
Exactly. But before, so we went out to a bar going over scheduling to plan out the next month, and one thing led to another, and we slept together. Definitely was a huge mistake because I have a girlfriend. Before this happened, she and I were what I would consider true platonic friends. We never even flirted or hit on one another. We had told each other things you would never tell someone you were interested in for fear of embarrassment. So my question is,
doesn't that sounds like a reason you would be interested in somebody, right?
Maybe
disclose things to him.
Yeah, but I can see what he's saying. Like,
I thought we were in the trust tree.
Yeah, but when you're close to someone like that, you're like, oh my god, I took the biggest shit this morning. You know what I mean? You wouldn't tell like someone you're trying to date something like that. So, anyways,
I guess.
Like,
I mean,
I got the worst.
They banged after that, so I mean,
yeah, or talking about relationships, like, oh, I slept with this girl and blah blah blah. Maybe, who knows? Anyways. So his question is, can men and women truly be platonic friends? Have you ever had platonic friends? Since the incident, things are obviously different and more complicated, and we do not talk very much. Ruined our friendship by making a huge mistake while we were drunk.
They ruined it because you gotta act like you gotta act like nothing happened. Yeah. If you guys get weird about it, then it's weird all around.
Yeah, exactly.
Just gotta get over that. that hump in the like when you that first day after you
Yeah.
got to just get over that hump.
Just like, hey, what's up? Bring him some coffee. Just act like nothing's. Give him a little, pep
Maybe
talk.
even like repeat the exact conversation you had the day before.
Yeah. Like don't even miss a beat. So about that scheduling. No,
yeah, right. Where do we leave off?
So to answer the question, though, I think I don't know. I think that it's possible, but it's very unlikely. I think just
So I've had
the law of
platonic-
attraction.
Yeah,
Me too.
I've
But
had platonic friends, but it always like, all right, stuff didn't happen, but it almost. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Like if the opportunity, if it was the right circumstances, then yeah, it would happen. You know what I mean? So.
But this was like in my adolescence. Like generally now, like no, it's not possible.
I think it's possible, but like I said, no matter what the relationship is, at a certain point, it would happen. You know what I mean?
I think it's possible if like the attractiveness is really offset.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But even then, the right circumstance might just be like, whatever. I'm comfortable with this person. You know what I mean? So
I want to know what is he still with his girlfriend or like does he still have that job?
He didn't really get deep into it. It said it was 3 months ago, so I seemed like he would. I mean, maybe he would have disclosed.
So I will give him this general advice: is you do not shit where you eat. Like,
of course,
unless you know you're quitting and you're on your way out, then you tear it up.
Well, to be fair, he did say in the email it was a huge mistake, and it wasn't meant something was meant to happen. But you got to be smarter than that, man. Like Malcolm said, like you start the meeting off with drinks at a bar. Maybe they do that a lot. I don't know.
No way, dude. Yeah. No way.
And again, it wasn't like you made a mistake, but you still did it. You know what I mean? Like it's not like
And I'm guessing he knew her situation too, which was probably ready to roll.
Exactly. So I mean, it's like you could have stopped it at any point if you're really that upset or worried about it, or you felt like you were only platonic friends or whatever. But I have a few platonic friends, but like you said, who knows? Who knows?
But yeah, if you do have a platonic friend, let's say they are like you're attracted or whatever, you generally don't go get drinks with them because you know where it's gonna go.
Yeah, and it also is a whole different ballgame when one of them has a boyfriend or girlfriend. You know what I mean? It's like now you're just being a dickhead. Yeah, I think it is.
Just kidding.
All right, so thank you for your question. We'll roll right into the next one. This one's a little bit of a change of pace here, and this one's real interesting. I read this one this morning, and I want to see where your head's at with this. With the NBA, MLB, and NHL seasons all coming to a close, of the major sports, what do you think is the hardest sport to win a championship as a player? I would say NBA just because it's the sport with the smallest rosters. What do you think, Pete?
No way.
That's what NBA I think is the easiest. There's guys on that Heat bench last night I'd never seen in my life. Like, who the fuck is that guy?
and one guy can affect a whole team. So
absolutely.
Like, they make one roster change and boom, they win a championship.
Exactly. Or you get it like these guys with LeBron who just signed with them to ride the bench to get a ring. You know what I mean? So it's like I think NBA is maybe the easiest. I would say the hardest.
The NFL's got to be the hardest.
Well, no. So this is what I was going to say. It wasn't for a team to win a championship. It was for a player to get a ring. So to me, the NFL is the absolute hardest as a team to be the team that wins the championship. But same thing with NBA. You could be a third-string linebacker or a backup fucking kicker or a third-string quarterback who doesn't play one snap, and you can get a ring. In hockey,
we all know they don't count that. If you're on,
but no, that wasn't the question. The question wasn't what sport is it the hardest to win a championship? It was which one is the hardest for a player to get a ring. So I would say it's between baseball and NHL, and this is why. In the NHL, there's no backups. There's one player that doesn't play, and it's the backup goalie. Every other player on your team is playing in the game. Mm-hmm, it's on the line. Every single person contributes one way or the other. So I think that is the hardest as a player to get a championship. MLB is number 2 because same situation. Just about every player contributes. There's a few guys on the bench that are backup, for pinch hitting and stuff in the game. But I think I give NHL a little bit of the edge because the MLB, you can be a fucking relief pitcher like this guy Drew Pomeranz who played for the Red Sox. He did not pitch in the World Series. He did in the entire playoffs. I'm sorry. He did not pitch one time in the entire playoffs, and he got a ring. So I would say NHL just because every single player contributes. NFL is definitely, to me, the hardest teams, like, to go do it all and win the championship as a football team is the hardest. So, because you got to think, with every other sport, you can be dominant on one side of the ball. That's not even the right word, but I guess if you have a really great pitching staff in baseball, you can win the championship. If you have a really great goalie in NHL, you can win the cup. And NBA, if you have LeBron James, you have a pretty good chance. And NFL, you need just about everything to be clicking. You know what I mean? So
Not
Great
only that,
defense
it's
win championships.
54 people, fighting
Exactly.
for spots every time, and the injuries are just
Injuries are brutal.
fuck, dude.
And you got guys that rotate in and out. So, yeah, I would say if you're asking, like, which sport is it for the team to win the championship, it's NFL, no doubt. If you're asking for which is the hardest to get a ring, it's NHL. NHL's not bringing any stragglers along with. You're contributing if you won the cup. So, unless you're the backup goalie, there's one guy. And sometimes, like this year, the Dallas, their guy that's starting right now is their backup. And so the same thing happened with Colorado. So it does. I mean, the Bruins had their backup in the playoffs. So, I mean, it does happen. So it's not like those guys are complete bums or anything, but every single other player is contributing every night. All right, so on to the next one. This one isn't even a great question. I just wanted to see, again, what you think of this.
Okay.
I know you guys don't like talking politics, but I want to know what you guys think of this. I understand Malcolm leans more towards Trump and Josh. Again, there's another guy that called me fucking Josh. It's Josh with an H. Josh, not Josh. Who the fuck is called Josh? That's not a name. Jesus Christ. Josh more towards the middle. Taking the politics and party out of the equation. If you were on a plane that crashed on a deserted island and needed to pick a leader, neither of those guys would even be considered as candidates to lead the group, right?
No,
you guys have
consider
been cracking
myself.
me up. Yeah, you guys have been cracking me up. Keep up the great work. Sorry for bringing up politics, Vince. And yeah, that's true. Like if we crash on an island and both those guys are on the plane, no chance they get picked to be the leader of the.
If I crash into an island, I hope they're already there before I crash. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, and I guess thankfully, that's not how politics work, No. So
it's whoever's got the biggest fucking, whoever's the biggest corrupt piece of shit with the biggest fucking checkbook
amount of money. Yeah. Well, also, and like, there's a difference between getting elected and then leading.
Yeah.
And I think
that I don't lean towards Trump. I just lean away from the wokeness. I'm not with that shit.
We're gonna get into the Biden stuff a little bit later too.
What stuff?
Oh, you'll see.
Fucking debates tomorrow. That's gonna be fucking
interesting. We're gonna talk about that too. Actually, since we're talking about it, well, thank you guys for the emails. Again, if you want to email us like those people did, podcastgame@gmail.com. Let's lean right into these debates. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow night in this Trump-Biden debate?
I don't know, man. I mean, Trump's a showman, dude. He's entertainment. That's where he comes from.
Yeah.
I figure he's going to entertain. That's not even what I'm looking at with the debates. I'm looking for if Joe Biden's going to have a moment, dude.
Yeah.
And then does Trump pounce on it? That's the question. Like, look at this guy. What the fuck is he saying?
Yeah. So I told you I sent you that text. So there's
or maybe both of them have a fucking heart attack on camera, like Ron Paul. I don't know.
That was a stroke, sir. Respect Ron Paul. That was a stroke.
I do respect Ron Paul. I think I know what his political ideology is, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, who knows? He might have been having a stroke when he was telling you his policies.
Yeah, we were talking to the text messages, like if he had that stroke and he just like kind of fucking snapped back in. Yeah, it's just like, oh, sorry, I had to clear my fucking arteries and shit. Sorry about that. That's how scummy some of these fucking politicians are too. You know what I'm saying? They're in that fucking robot mode. They could literally snap out of a fucking stroke.
Yeah. Well, so I sent you yesterday during Fox Football, they showed a commercial for like the advertising apps, and there's an app for the Fox Sports app where you can like vote on who you think won the debates, and the options it's on Fox, who leans a certain direction. But the options on the commercial, it shows the phone, and it says, "Who do you think won tonight's debate?" And it's President Donald Trump or Sleepy Joe.
Yo, how about that Jim Cramer calling Nancy Pelosi crazy Nancy?
Crazy. He's like, "Well, that's what Trump said," but
he was like, "Oh shit,
I'm supposed to
not say that to her face."
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I think the debate.
That's one thing I got to give Trump, dude, is those fucking nicknames, bro. They fucking stick.
They stick. Yeah, they stick. That's part of it. Just there never being some a candidate quite like him to do stuff like that. People are like, "What?"
He's Hollywood. He's entertaining.
I sent you the picture yesterday. I was driving down the street and there was a huge Trump rally right outside my house, right downtown. And it was hilarious because they're out there. My problem is if you believe in anybody like that, even these people that are religious, it just bothers me. It's like,
there has to be some we need to do some wrestling animation type, the pedophiles versus the rapists, or whatever they're, the racists. There we go. Go ahead.
Back to what I was saying is just I just don't understand how anybody can be that passionate about anything. Like, you don't even fucking know this guy. You know what I mean? And these people are like out there screaming this guy's name, and then you got people driving by, be like, "Hey, fuck Trump, fuck you," and it's like, where, why does it matter to you who they're gonna vote for? Like, it just doesn't.
Well, see,
it reminds me of Colts. It reminds me of these Colts where people like watching this show, The Vow. These people, they're so fucking invested in this guy that he could do no wrong. It just reminds me of that, and it's on both sides. It's not one side or the other. It's both sides are fucking loony.
But see, this is what I think is the major debate. Is like yes, they don't know him. Most of them don't even give a shit about policy. I think the main. I don't know. This is what I think. This is how it was in the UK too, dude. It was the battle of the wokeness shit, and that dude Jeremy Corbyn got crushed because he was super woke. It was like 70% of the votes went towards fucking that's dumb fuck Boris Johnson or whatever. Well, so I think that's what it's going to be about. Because let's be honest, nothing's going to change. Like,
yeah, of course not. It's always been a popularity contest, and it's still
neither of them's going to institute any policy. So if it's like between like free speech and not free speech, I'm going to go towards the free speech.
I don't know. I don't think it's quite as bad. I understand where you live is a little bit different, but I mean, I think that it's like, all right, if you look at the two guys like Trump and Biden, right? Biden's a career politician, which you can say is like whatever, like, you know, shady or whatever. But with Trump, I don't really trust him to put the people in the positions necessary to have success, whereas I think Biden may be able to hand off the success a little bit more, but I don't trust those fucking people he's going to hand it off to. That's what I'm saying.
He's definitely handling it. That's the thing. We're not voting for Biden, dude. We're voting for
I know.
Kamala Harris.
No, not even that. Yeah, but not even that. You're voting for the Democratic Party. And what have they done the last 8 years that makes you confident in them? They give you Hillary Clinton. They basically cheated to give you Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders. Then they gave you this guy Biden who's out of fucking.
And they keep out anybody with any kind of vision, like
that's what
Bernie,
I'm saying.
Andrew Yang, Tulsi Gabbard. They just keep them out. So it's like
they could have put up just about any other candidate but Biden, and he would have crushed Trump. They would have crushed Trump. Oh, yeah. And they picked the worst candidate. So it's like, how can you have faith that their system is going to do better? You know what I mean? I don't. So I don't know. Shit. But the thing is, neither is It's a bad situation to be in.
They'll do the platitudes and the symbolism all day. They'll kneel. They'll wear the fucking, African scarves and all that shit. But when changing policy. Hold on. Hey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to do that. Reform banking. Whoa.
Yeah. Speaking of politics for one more thing, did you see this Dan Crenshaw fucking commercial? You know who Dan Crenshaw is? The guy with the
yeah, I know he is.
He did a commercial, a political commercial, where he was basically Nick Fury from the Avengers, and he like jumps out of an airplane, and he skydives, and he goes and like recruits other politicians, and it's like one guy's like working on a tank, and he's like he like rolls out from under the tank. He's like, "Oh, you're calling on me?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's reform this state or whatever." And then like splashes all the guy's statistics next to him like he's a fucking superhero. It was terrible.
It's just straight up idiocracy, dude.
Yeah, it was absolutely terrible.
It's just happening, dude. Did you see that shit with Adam Carolla and Ben Shapiro at Cancel Con?
No.
Oh, bro, they in the beginning of it, they run like this Cartoon Network-ish 90s like animated superhero type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we're the blah blah blah, superheroes, and we fight fascism with fascism. It's just like making fun of like whatever. It's just the fact that they even held it is just.
Oh, they did it like in person?
Yeah, that was just like the intro into it. It was like it was Cancel Con. It was like Ben Shapiro, Adam Carolla. I didn't watch it, but because it just seems ridiculous.
Speaking of canceled, our boy we talked about a few episodes ago, Thomm Brennaman officially resigned yesterday. Officially taking the back seat, calling it a career after dropping the hard F-bomb on his broadcast for the Reds like a couple weeks ago. So, RIP our boy Thomm Brennaman.
This is what I'm talking about, dude.
What do you mean by this is what you're talking about? He definitely should have got fired for that.
He's going to die soon, whatever.
I do hope that there's a way that he could make a comeback or something. I mean, obviously, what he did was really shitty. And also, he's going to be...
You know what the future is? Is people on fucking YouTube commentating their own fucking games.
No, I was talking about that with someone about that happening, but at the same time, those guys that people don't give them enough credit. They go to these schools and they learn how to say things a specific way. They all have that voice.
Yeah, but what if Thomm Brennaman just hops on YouTube?
It doesn't work like that. Not with baseball. Also, I don't understand. I just hope there's a way for him to come back because it sucks that his legacy is that he went out and called that home run during his apology. That really sucks.
What was it?
That's
It was
classic.
the Capital. What the fuck did he say?
It was he's like obviously I'm a man of many faith. Deep drive to left field, Castellanos, and it's 4-0 ball game. Oh my god, I forgot to mention that. So the Reds, the team he's the commentator for, right?
Yeah.
The team he's the commentator for, they're making the playoffs. So they posted on their thing, it says snuck on in, and it's like clinched on the Reds Twitter. And the first comment is, as a Reds fan, I waited 7 years for this tweet. And there's a drive to deep left field by Castellanos, so that'll be a home run, right? So he does the whole thing, right? And then someone below it commented, come on, man, there's a time and a place for this. And there's a deep drive to the left field. the whole fucking thing again, so.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh, man. Yo, I lost you. I can't hear you.
So, yeah, speaking of sports, Doc Rivers got fired right off the press. Just happened. What are your thoughts on that? You're a Celtics fan. He was your coach for a little while.
I mean,
he really had an opportunity this year with Kawhi and Paul George, and to end the season the way they did.
I'll be honest. I was shocked he was still coaching the Clippers this year. When I seen him on the bench, I was like, "Holy shit! I didn't even know he's still there."
He's had maybe the most amount of talent with the least amount of success. He does have the ring in 08, but come on, a potato could have coached that fucking team. He had 3 of the best players in the league. And the years following, they really underachieved with the big 3 following that. And then he did win Coach of the Year in Orlando. But even then, if you look back, he had some fucking talent, man. He had T-Mac in his prime, and they could not get out of the first round. And
he's like a player's coach. I don't see him somebody that can necessarily make something out of nothing.
Well, also
if you give him something, he can kind of nurture.
Of course. Well, also in the other questionable thing was when he was in LA with the Clippers, he was the GM and the coach, and that just makes your job twice as hard. Not a lot of guys can do that. And you're looking back now, that Paul George trade might end up being a disaster because he can opt out after next year, Paul George, and they gave away 7 first-round picks. So,
Paul George needs to stay with Kawhi Leonard like fucking white on rice, bro.
Yeah.
Because Paul George, he's not what we think or want him to be. And Kawhi is that dude. I don't know what – Kawhi had to have been hurt this year, dude. Because those last 3 games –
Or disinterested. He seemed just disinterested. Like the pandemic maybe and not having the fans there.
Bro. But
yeah, that's true too. But the thing with Paul George, it's like ever since that – it's funny because you sent me that picture of him breaking his leg the other day you found in your photos. But ever since his leg snapped like that, he has not been the same player. There's flashes. He shows flashes. He'll have a game here or there where it's like, oh, there's the old Paul George. But consistently, he's just not. He just doesn't.
But the end of the game has never been him, dude.
No, it's not.
It's never been him. It's never been his style. Or when you need him to show up the most, I feel like he never shows up.
He can't. He can never be the guy. You know what I mean? He's not going to have to be the guy. He needs to be number 2. And like I said, him and Kawhi have 1 more year there, and then they can both opt out after next season. So that could end up being a disaster. And who are they going to bring in? I don't know. It'll be something to keep an eye on. They really underachieved this year. They did well. They played well. They had a good season. They're just the playoffs. You lose in the second round of the Nuggets and not getting to Western Conference Finals has to be considered.
Paul George would be a good swap out for like Gordon Hayward or something. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'd prefer Gordon Hayward at this point, to be honest with you. Although Gordon Hayward looked horrendous last night.
He can't stay fucking healthy, bro. This fucking guy.
Yeah. He isn't. Hayward's another one that's going to opt out this year, so we'll see where he ends up. Sticking with sports again, me and Malcolm, we both watched UFC 253 this past weekend, and it did not go the way we thought it would. Israel Adesanya, if you're not familiar with the UFC, middleweight champ Israel Adesanya was fighting Paulo Costa this weekend. And he made it look fucking easy. Out there.
The amount of
embarrassed him.
I feel like every fight is turning into like somebody kicking the shit out of somebody's leg, them not checking it or stopping it, and then they just get the shit kicked out of them.
Because they have no energy. Your energy just gets sapped from those leg kicks.
Yeah.
You can't play
those leg kicks are nasty.
He ended up saying, Paulo Costa ended up saying later that he had an injury coming into the fight, but I don't believe that shit. Because he came out still talking shit, still being cocky. Even during the fight, he was being cocky. And he landed one punch the entire fight and just got his ass whipped for 2 rounds. And like I said, Israel Adesanya made that shit look easy. Like, this guy's a bum. That's what he made it look like. This guy stinks. So
I feel like they're stopping the fights. I mean, I feel
no,
like
he was done. He was done.
They were done, but I feel like they really used to let them get this.
They did. No,
they
they
used to let
definitely
him
used to
go
let him
out.
go.
You know?
Yeah.
Now they don't even go out. It's like, you're not defending yourself. You're still awake.
Yeah, but he was done. He was curled up in a ball. He would. You know what they really start doing is when someone's mounted on top of you and they're punching you. It's when you roll to like this. That's when they'll stop it. When you're a complete turtle, and that's what he did.
Yeah.
He rolled back onto his side, his front, and he just covered up. He wasn't even trying to fight back. At that point, you need to stop the fight. But also, man, the punch he knocked him down with, he barely even clipped him. He just kind of like hit him right in the temple, like right on the side there, and he just walked his ass. So imagine if you would have landed a flush one. You know what I mean? So.
And then what was it? Dominic Reyes got beat too. That guy looked.
Oh yeah.
He looked like the real deal.
Jan Blachowicz or something.
He looked way faster. His punches looked way harder.
Yeah, I mean, and he came into that fight with something to prove, and I mean, he dominated. When he hit Reyes to not what ended up ending the fight, his whole body just stopped working. He just he was breakdancing. It was
shut down.
You could tell like he was trying to move his left foot, and his right foot was moving, like his just whole brain was not operating properly. It looked like Ron Paul, like how Ron Paul did that stroke. So
left side of his face just falling off. Let's talk about my Friday night because that was a wild one.
You told me you were hungover.
No, not Friday night. Thursday night, going into Friday morning at work.
Oh yes, let's talk about that.
So we're at work and it's overnight and we're doing like this construction shit or whatever. And everybody's like, yo, we're in Rocky Mountain National Park. Like, you can't really notice it at night because it's fucking dark. But when the sun comes up, you're like, holy shit, dude, there's some real drop offs here. Like, because I think we're at like 10,000 feet or something.
Yeah,
pretty high up. It might even be. No, yeah, it's like 10. So this fucking guy was operating this equipment and drove off the side of the mountain. I mean, just completely insane. And this one tree catches the tire and like prevented him from certain death. Okay. And the paramedics show up. They end up getting him like off the fucking hill. And he's like, did I drive off the edge? Like, yeah, you definitely did. You just knocked out cold.
Did this happen? Did this happen right in front of you? Like you saw it live? Him do it?
I didn't see it live, but I have some pictures pulled up.
Okay. Well, no, I just meant like when you drove off the cliff, it didn't happen right in front of you. You weren't watching.
No.
What the fuck is he doing? Okay.
I think he had like a Ron Paul moment. We still don't know what happened. Like, because there was like no indication he tried to stop from going off the side of this mountain.
Jesus Christ. He's lucky he didn't kill himself.
Yeah. So then after that, everybody's like, all right, usually in jobs like this, if somebody almost dies, let's just stop it.
Call it a day. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come back tomorrow and try it again.
Yeah.
So I'm going home, and then I see this fucking truck. There's shit all over the road. And I get out, and I'm like, yo, bro, you all right? And the dude hops out. It's this big, fat, bald, white dude. He's like, you got a gun? I'm like, huh? He's like, yeah, he's still alive. I'm like, oh, shit, dude, what? like, trying to be a good Samaritan at 4 in the morning. And, of course, people are like, yeah, just don't stop. Anyways, so, this dude hit a what? Go ahead. Yeah, anyways, this dude hit a massive fucking elk. and I guess it ran off to the side. And yeah, I thought this fat white dude was gonna murder me in the middle of the street.
You got a gun?
And then wait,
before you go any further. So you sent me a picture of this moose, and it's clearly laying there still alive. Its eyes are open. Elk. Whatever, elk. Its eyes are open, and it's laying there, and that thing's fucking massive, just massive.
Dude,
and like you said,
look at the truck.
I mean, the truck was basically totaled.
Here, let me share my screen, dude.
Yeah, pull it up.
Hold on, let me close all this other shit I got going on. Any kind of porno I got.
Yeah, you don't want those popping up.
Yeah.
You have a little Chris Evans moment.
I don't want you guys knowing my specific tastes,
Okay, dead elk, white guy with a gun. Yeah. You got some pictures you want to show us?
How I spend my Friday mornings.
Yeah.
Yeah, check this out.
What are these pictures looking like here?
So this is this guy's truck. Just he kept saying, "Man, I just fucking bought this thing." That's all he kept saying, dude. It's a fucking brand new truck.
I'd be pissed
there's
too.
This truck.
Think about how he hit it, where it would have hit, this part here in the front and at the same time the side door.
Well, first of all, this is a 5,000-pound vehicle, right?
Yeah,
made of metal, dude. Hits the elk doing 55. Check out the. I don't know what that was. Check out the elk.
Yeah,
nothing. What the fuck?
He's clearly.
But I would think the elk would just explode.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, he's a little banged up. You can see some blood there, but for the most part, he's doing a lot better than I would have gotten if I got hit by a 55-mile-an-hour truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was still alive. This is just a still picture, but in the live picture, you can see him, like, his eye is, like, moving. He's still alive.
Is it? I was going to touch him, but I was like, I don't know if this motherfucker is alive. I don't want to kicking the shit out of me. So imagine he kicked me and then I just start stomping him.
So did you end up shooting him?
Oh, I don't know. This cop showed up. Although I do regret is I could have fucking, in Colorado, roadkill, you can take home, and all you have to do is get a tag, like, within 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish I would have stuck around because then I would have had fucking meat for the rest of the year. But
no kidding. Elk is delicious too. I used to years ago, a girl I dated, her dad used to hunt and stuff, and we did like venison burgers and things like that. And venison. And actually, I used to be not a picky eater, but it sounded gross to me when I was like in high school and stuff. I was like, I don't want that. And then one time they made like sausages on the grill, and I was like, man, these sausages are fucking delicious. And he goes, oh yeah, it's because it's elk meat. That stuff you said you didn't like. And I was like, oh
yeah. I had some in we went to
it's just sweet. It's so much sweeter than like regular beef,
We went to Jackson Hole and they had like some kind of like elk sausage. I was like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fucking that buck's about a 5 point. I don't even know what that means. But
I just know that's good.
Yes, that's a 5 point, dude.
Yeah. All right, so I got a few things I wanted to share with you here. So first is what I would say is maybe the greatest. I'm not a big cricket fan, but this is maybe the greatest play in cricket that I think you could ever make. Right. So check this out. It happens fast, so be ready to check it out. So the guy hits the ball. It goes into the stands, and check this guy out. He catches it, doesn't even lose a cigarette, tosses it back in, and takes a puff. No big deal, bro. No big deal.
The only thing that would make that better is he's got that naked lip up there, bro. He should have a stash on.
Little stash, or if he had like a beer in the other hand, caught it with one hand, How
old is that clip? Jesus Christ.
It's got to be from like the 80s, the way they're dressed and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So one other thing I wanted to mention here is
Keith Stone, dude.
Definitely look like Keith Stone. So I don't know if you're aware, but a day last week, the new Xbox went on sale, right? So bear with me here. This is very confusing, and you'll see why. So the old Xbox is the Xbox One, right? And the Xbox One had like an upgraded system they released a few years ago called the Xbox One X. Okay, it's like the 4K version of the Xbox One. Okay. The new Xbox that comes out next month, which is the equivalent to the PS5, is the Xbox Series X. So you can see how that's confusing, right? So on the 22nd, last week, the Xbox Series X, the new one, went on sale for pre-order, right? On Amazon, there was a 7,470% boost in sales on the Xbox One X on that day.
Oh, shit, dude.
It went from 2,840th on the sales rank to 4th on Amazon.
Christ.
So there's going to be a lot of pissed off fucking kids on Christmas morning.
It's the same one.
Yeah, could you imagine though? You like think you could you're gonna I crushed Christmas this year, bro. I crushed it. My kid's gonna fucking love me. He opens it, he's like, what the fuck is this? I have this in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's the new one. No, it's not. Like, first of all, keep it simple, bro. PlayStation 4. Guess what's next? The PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Xbox One X. Guess what the next one? The Xbox.
How
Series.
many X's you got to have in the fucking?
No kidding.
Name?
Make it double. I don't know.
Christ.
Even Xbox XX would have been better than fucking Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Get to that triple X, so hey, what kind of box we talking about now?
Not for kids, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's probably what the next triple Xbox would be, is some kind of fucking.
Ooh, I like that name though.
Yeah.
Instead of Xbox XXX, just the Xbox Triple X. I like that.
Yeah.
Or Triple Xbox. One other thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Comes with a fucking virtual reality headset and a flashlight.
So one other thing I wanted to show you, because I know you didn't get to watch a ton of football this weekend because of your wonky schedule. But you know Tommy Tuberville is, right?
Yeah.
He used to be the coach of Auburn. He coached all around college football. Well, he's
they had
running
that tree
for
till fucking Alabama poisoned it.
Yeah, that guy just died. Harvey Updike, the guy that poisoned the tree, he just died a few weeks ago.
Good.
So. No, he was. He was a piece of shit, but he was a good follow on Twitter for like sports stuff because he's a big Alabama fan. He knew his college football. And roll damn tide. That's what he said when he got arrested for it. That was like his comments. Like, do you have any comments for the press? He was like, roll damn tide. So I wanted to show you this. Speaking of Tommy Tuberville is now running for, I believe it's governor of Alabama.
Yeah, I seen that.
This is an advertisement that one of his people he's running against released.
Tuberville, after telling his players the only way he would leave his team at Ole Miss would be in a pine box, Tommy Tuberville quit the next week. He quit on his players at Auburn, but still collected a $5 million buyout and $250,000 no-show job before moving on to Texas Tech. He quit on his players at Texas Tech, too, even walking out of a dinner with a recruit to take the job at Cincinnati. Then in his last coaching job, Tommy Tuberville quit on his players again. And as he slinked away to booze, he told Cincinnati students to go to hell. Hey, go to hell!
I had to play it twice.
Moving to Alabama just 18 months ago, he wants you to trust him as your United States Senator. It's a 6-year term. Fear the thumb, remember the quitter.
I'm Senator Doug Jones, and I approve this message because I'll never quit on the people of Alabama.
Doug Jones seems like a bitch.
I was about to say that. You want to learn how to lose my vote? That's how you fucking lose my vote. So
Tuberville sounds like a man, all right?
Hey, go to hell.
Go to hell, yeah. I'm Doug Jones. Okay, dude.
So I don't know how we're going to play this clip because I know for a fact we're going to get copyright on it, so we have to talk over it. Maybe I just won't play the audio. Maybe that's what I'll do. That'll actually make it better. I'm going to show you this clip, and you tell me what you think Colin Cowherd is upset about, okay?
This fucking guy.
CEO, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Thank you.
Just kidding. So he's wearing his hat, and he decides he wants to turn it backwards. And then look, you can just imagine how he's talking right now.
We got here. Big America here.
So
What the fuck?
he's upset because the Eagles didn't play well last week, and Carson Wentz showed up to his press conference with his hat on backwards, like this.
Yeah.
And he thought it wasn't very professional. He was like, if you wear it like this, it's professional. If you wear it like this, it's unprofessional. So he went on.
Say it's not professional going out and getting fucking blown out in fucking 3 weeks in a row or whatever.
No kidding, man.
That's not professional.
All right. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about NFL Sunday a little bit. First off, your boy, if the Chiefs win tonight, we'll have a perfect 5-0 week on his picks, but we'll talk about all that on Thursday. But one of the things that blew my mind is yesterday in the Eagles-Bengals game, okay, the Eagles are in overtime with the Bengals, and they go out there with, I think it was 19 seconds left. The Eagles are going to try to kick a field goal to win the game. It's a 59-yard field goal, and they get a false start. So it moves them back to a 64-yard field goal, which is the NFL record. It would have tied the NFL record. But there's 19 seconds left, okay? Instead of attempting the 64-yard field goal to win the game, the Eagles punted it to go for the tie. Is there a more cowardly play that you could call in any sport? You're going to play for the tie? Go for the 64-yard field goal. I'll tell you what. A lot of people were fucking pissed at him. A lot of fans, a lot of media were questioning it. No one is going to be mad at you if your kicker misses a 64-yard field goal for trying to win the game.
Who's
no one's
kicker?
going to be upset. Jake Elliott, who's like an okay kicker. But
Because
still,
I'll tell you what, if it was Nick Folk, I would say don't kick that field goal. If anything, put his head on the tee and kick the shit out of him, because he fucking sucks.
Yeah, Patriots kicker Nick Folk is not very good. But to get back to what I was saying here, you have to go for the win there. Your team's 0-2. You're playing the fucking Bengals. If you make it, it's a great call. But to just punt and be like, we cannot win this game now. There's 19 seconds left. So let's say he misses it. He misses the kick, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals, with no timeouts left, had to go at least 20-something yards in 19 seconds and spike the ball with Joe Burrow, who hadn't looked fantastic either. He looked decent without – he didn't have a lot of weapons. But he had to go at least 20 yards for them to even try a 40, 50-yard field goal. So, I mean – another thing, if you kick a 64-yard field goal and you miss it, it's going to take 5-6 seconds off the clock. So he probably has 13 seconds. He probably has one or two – probably one play and a spike and a kick. Maybe two plays if everything goes the right way.
There's no spike in there if they
go.
Do they have
plays.
a timeout left?
No timeouts.
Yeah, then you got one
for the
deep
kick.
ball. Maybe you can get like if they
Pass
get
interference or something.
If anything, if I was the other team, I'd try to catch the kick. Try to run that back.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's something you're worried about too. But I mean, I think just you're 0-2. You can't play for the fucking tie, man. You go for the win.
No.
So
you play to win the game.
There's also a guy that Doug Peterson, the head coach of the Eagles, who made that call. He has a book out called Fearless. It's like, can you be any more hypocritical, dude? You got a book called Fearless you want me to buy, and you just chose to punt to play for the tie in a game?
Hey, bro, he rode Nick Foles to the Super Bowl, bro. That's Fearless, okay?
Speaking of Nick Foles, Big Dick Nick came in against the Falcons down 16 in the fourth quarter, came back and won that game yesterday.
Right off the bat.
Yeah, he did, and they still won. So, pretty interesting stuff.
He got Jesus on the side, that's why.
I guess. I don't know. But he has something on his side because that dude just straight magic. So he was named the starter over Trubisky. I don't think so. Nick Foles?
Look it up.
Oh, maybe. Well, he's now the starter of the Bears. And in 2 weeks, we will have a Nick Foles Tom Brady rematch on a Super Bowl, whatever Super Bowl number that was, rematch 2 weeks from now. So that'll be interesting. Speaking of Brady and the Bucs pulled off another win yesterday against a banged up Denver team. Looked pretty good in the first half, 3 touchdowns. Patriots looked bad and still won the game, so that was good. Patriots.
Yeah,
I think the Raiders are just phonies. I think that's a bigger thing there. Their defense looked good though. The Raiders' defense was solid. Cam was having struggles.
I think some of these coaches, man, they just stay out of it too long, and they just ain't got it anymore. They lose touch with the game.
Gruden's play calling is rough. You know who else's play calling was rough? Was the Saints last night when they lost to the Packers. Drew Brees is washed, guys. He can't throw the ball across the line of scrimmage.
This is like 2 or even like maybe the whole season that the Packers have been underdogs. I don't understand. This dude's just coming out slinging these ridiculous passes. And
it's because their defense is terrible. Their defense is absolutely terrible, the Packers.
I mean, he had that fucking like 50-yard bomb last night.
Yeah, right into the guy's hands.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Well, so let me show you something. Brees looked terrible. And again, the Packers defense must be horrendous. You saw it on that Kamara pass where Brees threw it behind the line of scrimmage and Kamara goes 60 yards for a fucking touchdown, basically breaking everybody's ankles. But Brees yesterday, 29 for 36, 288 yards and 3 touchdowns. Great stats. You look at it on paper, great stats. But he had his longest pass of the game was 13 yards. He didn't throw it across the line of scrimmage unless it was like a 3rd and 7. It's just all it is dunk, screen, right, crossing route right over in front of the line of scrimmage, and the guys run with it. And if something happens, if Kamara gets hurt, they have no offense right now. So I don't know, man. I just think that they're big time phonies. They're now 1-2, and the only game they had was the win. The only win they had was against the Bucs in Week 1, who was their first week with all those new players. Brady and Arians' first game together. Defenses had some additions, so they weren't exactly firing on all cylinders, So they might be the Saints might be in trouble. The Saints might be in trouble.
They're definitely in trouble. I'm not sold on them at all.
Their defense is very good, though. Their defense is very good, and Rodgers still fucking cut him up last night. Just sliced him up last night.
Destroyed it. I think he might be able to go all the way this year. I don't know. He looks good.
He does look good. They need some changes on that defense, though. They need some help. That defense is bad. But also, speaking of the Saints, you got to give credit to their defense. They basically shut out Aaron Jones last night, who's been looking like one of the best running backs in the league until last night. Seahawks kept rolling. They looked good against the Cowboys. Cowboys almost pulled off another comeback. How about DK Metcalf costing me $1 million? You want to talk about that a little bit? So
I seen something come across like the Google fucking news feed or whatever. It's like DK Metcalf, the worst play of the year, fucking,
Yeah.
or like in recent history or something like that.
So let's take a look at it here. I'll tell you the play, and then I'll give you a little bit of the backstory here. So this is the play.
Protection airs it out.
Oh, sorry about that. DK gets it. He's about to walk right in the end zone for a touchdown, and he forgets there's a defender there and knocks the ball out of his hands, right?
Jesus.
So it counts as not as a touchdown, but as a fumble and a touchback, right? So in my FanDuel lineup, I had DK Metcalf in my FanDuel lineup. I also had Russ Wilson in my
8-point swing right there.
It's an 8-point swing. I finished in 11th. I won $800, which is fantastic for a $10 entry. But the guy in front of me, there was 10 people in front of me, none of which had DK Metcalf in their lineup. And the guy in first did not have DK Metcalf in his lineup either. He beat me by 6. You know how much you won if you got first place, Malcolm?
$1 million.
You won $1 million if you got first place. So DK Metcalf is now on my shit list. He owes me $1 million. Next time I see him, if I ever see him, I'll be like, hey, you can write me a check for $1 million for being a dickhead?
Yeah. High and tight, bitch, not one-handed.
Yeah, no kidding. Just lazy.
Fuck.
Just laziness, man. It's like that happens all the time. At least once a year, someone does something like this. Like, you should just run a fucking compilation clip of all the times it happens in camp.
Oh,
Be
it
like,
happens all the time.
Hey, don't do this. It's either
Yeah.
they drop it right before the line or they fucking get knocked out right before the line. It's just like, come on.
Motherfuckers are too cool, bro. They're just too cool.
Too cool. He did it like way early, too. The guy caught him at like the 5-yard line. It's like,
Yeah.
rough. Let's see. You got anything else you want to talk about before we get on out of here?
No, not really. I can't wait for the debates. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to say. Sticking with sports again, real quick. Everyone should be rooting for the Dallas Stars to win tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning to force a Game 7. Because if they do, Malcolm, on Wednesday night will be 8 MLB playoff games, NBA Finals Game 1, and Stanley Cup Finals Game 7. That would be fucking epic if that could happen all on Wednesday night.
So what happens with when does the next NBA season start? I'm so confused about that.
So they were talking about it being like December, which would be it'd be a full length season and just ending it right around June, July again. It would just be they'd have to figure out some scheduling stuff, but I think they're going to press it back a little bit because they got to do the draft and stuff like that. I think they should just permanently keep it like that. Just kick it off right around Christmas. You know how dope it would be if, like, the first game of the NBA season, you have the matchups on, like, Christmas Day? That'd be awesome. So everyone loves Christmas Day basketball. Make it, like, a full lineup. Make it, like, the kickoff to the season. 'Tis the season, you know what I'm saying? And roll from there because really no one's watching from fucking October to November anyway. Everybody's watching football and the MLB playoffs, the World Series, you know.
I don't watch till after the All-Star break.
And I don't even watch that much after that. I usually just wait till the playoffs. Because the other thing is they need to figure something out, man. Too many of these teams make the fucking playoffs. It's seriously. Like
And
the
there's
Magic
so many games, like you can tell they don't
move it
care.
back to 5. Move it back to 5 in the first round. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, exactly. It's just
Yeah.
too much. It's just too much. If you're going to have or shorten the season to 50 games. If you're going to have an 82-game season, there needs to be less teams in the playoffs, I think. Because it gets to a point where it's like once you're like, you get to a point where you're like, no matter what, you're going to be in 3 through 6. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter what. You know, there's 20 games left. You're going to be somewhere in 3 through 6. So it's like, who fucking cares? Just don't get hurt.
People making it with a fucking losing record and shit.
Exactly. So, let's see. Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, so my sister's bridal shower was this past weekend, and her wedding is fastly approaching. And like I said, I'm going to have to be the one that marries them. So I'm trying to think of some ideas. Should I wear the the all black with the little like white cuff thing, and just or should I go in like all Pope outfit? You know, the big fucking hat and the dress.
yeah.
Bring some like random kid with me.
with the fucking pedo scarf or whatever.
Yeah, the little circles, the little the boy love circles or whatever. Okay, one last thing here.
You should do that, and then you should like you should pass around an offering dish.
Yeah.
Look, this ain't
That'd
even
be great.
church. Like,
gathered here today. Please make sure you donate to my Patreon, and I'll also be passing around a card with our podcast name on it. And if you could just give $20, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
It's all improvements to the show. Like, share, subscribe. You know.
that's great.
Where's
she getting married?
Oh, a couple things. We have to talk. We'll talk about all that after the show because I do want to talk to you about something after the show that's a private matter. So real quick, I did have someone, one of our friends, he sent me a message about something. I totally forgot about this, right? So me and you talked back and forth about the presidential debates, and I was like, yeah, Trump he's probably going to smoke Biden in these debates, but the one you should be worried about is the Kamala Harris, Mike Pence debates, because I think she's going to embarrass Pence, right? So we kind of went back and forth about that a little bit. What I totally forgot was these two things. One, Kamala Harris was a very successful litigation lawyer, so she knows how to argue, right? So that's part of it. But this is the thing I totally forgot. Did you remember that Mike Pence is not allowed to be in a room with a woman without his wife?
Oh, yeah.
So you're telling me he's going to beat her in a debate? He doesn't even know how to talk to women.
He doesn't go to dinner with women either.
Yeah, I know. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre.
Well, first of all, that whole, litigators are good because they prep, right? Yeah. Kamala Harris has proven not to be good on her feet.
Well, I don't think Mike Pence is either.
Destroyed by Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Debating some of these people, and then there's Mike Pence, dude. Dude's a fucking robot. Dude doesn't know how to talk to women. I think he's going to slip up and say something fucking inappropriate.
See, the robots is what scare me. That's what scares me about Joe Biden, too.
Yeah.
It's because they can go into that fucking politician fucking...
The politician speak, yeah.
You just go into that, zombie mode. You don't even know what they're saying, but you're like, it sounds good. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, another thing about Joe Biden I saw today, right before we logged on here, is the Trump administration says that they're actually worried because they think that Biden is going to be do whatever he has to do, and he's going to be fully competent in these debates, and it's going to fuck up their campaign a little bit. They think that he's going to go full front just to be awake tomorrow.
Have you ever seen those old clips of Biden plagiarizing and lying to the
Yeah. The one that's great is where he's in that, it looks like a nightclub, and he's talking to this one guy, and he's like, I was the top of my goddamn class, and you can't tell me. And it's just bing, all these things are lies, It's
so he goes, I got 4 degrees. I graduated at the top of my class. So he fucking cuts to the news. He's like, it turns out he only does not have 4 degrees, did not graduate at the top of the class, was actually the bottom of his class.
And he refused to comment on it. It's like, what? You can't do that. So there's also the one where he's at a construction rally and he's talking to some guy, and then he's like, I'll come over there and beat the shit out of you. It's or I'll beat your ass. It's like, what?
Yeah.
And then I was going to show it earlier, but we waited too long. It's played out now. That clip of him telling, what did he say to all those soldiers? He said
come on and clap, you stupid bastard.
Yeah, you stupid bastards. He's like, you guys aren't as bright as I thought or something. He's like, maybe we should send you back to Iraq. It's like, what, dude?
Yeah.
To be fair.
What's wrong with y'all? Y'all take too many IEDs or what?
To be fair, when the story came out, it did seem like it was one of those little speech things where they were giving it to him back and forth, and everybody was having a grand old time. But still, it's not a great soundbite. And the guy's kind of a prick, so...
He is an asshole, dude. He's proven that throughout this whole campaign.
I know.
He's like, you trying to take my Second Amendment rights? He's like, hey, shut the fuck up.
Do you think? All right. So you think that they have to be? All right.
No, that's what he says. He goes, you don't know shit.
Yeah. So 2 things. Do you think? I think, and I said this a few episodes ago. I think that Trump's going to say something about Biden's dead son. I do think that, and wife. I think he's going to say something about
I don't think so. I think he's going to hammer
is.
Hunter Biden, dude. Smoking crack and banging strippers and denying DNA tests and all that crazy shit, dude.
Do you think that at any point they get riled up enough where they have to be separated?
Dude, his son got $1 billion loan. That's incomprehensible to me.
It's a lot of money. $1 billion loan. All right, so that's, again, this last thing, and then we'll get out of here. The thing that's interesting to me is if you look back through history, right, almost every single president is either a billionaire or from a billionaire family, right?
Yeah, they're all scumbags.
I know. So you got
except
Trump.
the last one of the last good ones was JFK, and then Eisenhower.
His family, JFK family was billionaires too from his dad. what I'm saying. It's just like all of these families have money. So let's go back. You got Trump, billionaire. You got Barack Obama, who wasn't. So that's one. You got George Bush, billionaire.
Now.
Exactly. You got Bill Clinton, who wasn't a billionaire, but his wife's family was loaded. Reagan, Bush Sr. I mean, it just good list goes on. And like, you got this guy Joe Biden, whose family is worth a ton of money as well. Oh, and then you got
a fuck ton of money now because all that. No,
it's like, when are we going to elect somebody? You know, and that's one thing that I guess would be
we got to go military. I know it sounds scary to some people, but most of those people have fucking integrity because they sign up to be in the military.
Yeah.
So really, you know, if you sign up to be in the military, money's not going to really, it's not really your determining factor in life.
And that's the point I was trying to make here was we keep electing these people that are just, they don't have the same values as, you know, a regular everyday citizen. You know what I mean? They're going to do what's best for them and their family and the people that are in their tax bracket. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see what happens with these debates. I'm sure you saw the Trump tax thing. He paid $750 in taxes the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
Look at Bloomberg or anybody, dude.
I know. Well,
let's look at Joe Biden's taxes.
Well,
he doesn't pay taxes either, dude.
No, he paid $3.3 million last year. That came out right away. They were very proud to show that right after.
Where all that money come from?
Who knows?
Guy's been in politics 50 years, dude. All these motherfuckers make $10 million a year, dude. Where does the money come from?
Speaking engagements and illegal activity, of course. But so I was gonna say is the problem is these Democrats are so fucking stupid. Again, I told you I'm down the middle, but I'm gonna call it bullshit when I see it. They're trying to say this is like it's a bad thing. They're pushing it to people that don't want to pay their fucking taxes anyway. They're like, good. Yeah. How did he do it? Show me. Those are what his supporters were saying. So it's not going to work, man. They need to have it. If you really
a billionaire didn't pay any taxes. Oh, really?
Oh, no.
That's a fucking revelation, dude.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
If you want to swing the vote away from Trump, you need to find something where he's saying.
The funny thing is, like, okay, who put those laws in place? Probably fucking you. So
yeah. But the thing is, like, that's not going to swing voters. You need to find something that's going to be like, make the people that follow him feel stupid or feel unimportant. Make them feel like something that shows that Trump is a phony or something that shows that he doesn't believe in what he's saying. You find something like that, that'll swing voters. Putting out that he paid $750 in taxes last year is not going to swing voters. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody's going to. It's a story today. It's a story tomorrow. By next week when these debates are over, it won't be. After tomorrow when these debates are over, it won't be a story anymore.
And it's like Amazon and Coca-Cola pays zero taxes, and you know they don't say anything about that.
Yeah,
probably because they own their publication.
Yeah, that's true too. All right, let's get out of here. Enough. Again, sorry about all the politics this episode. We'll cut them down next episode. But we did, to be fair, one of you fuckers did ask about it. So that's why we started talking about it. So thank you, everybody. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're listening to the audio only, go to YouTube, Scam Podcast. Follow, like, share, subscribe. If you're watching the video only, go download us. We're on Radio Public, iTunes, Spotify, everywhere you get your podcasts. We're now on iHeartRadio, too. This will be our first episode on iHeartRadio. They'll go on there. So thank you, everybody. And feel free to comment. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, @scam_podcast. Email us, podcastscam@gmail.com. Love the emails we've been getting. Love the comments and all the discussion we've had, guys. It's been fantastic. And we can't thank you guys enough. So hang in there. We'll be back on Thursday with our NFL picks, hopefully after the Chiefs win and I go a perfect 5-0. And then we're back Friday with another episode this week. Malcolm, enjoy your going to work tonight. I'm going to go watch Monday Night Football. We will see you guys later.